Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Lagos. Your Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my governor, the governor of Lagos State, and our host, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, Your Excellencies, governors of Nasarawa, Abia, Imo, Plateau States, deputy governors and other governors here represented, the Honorable Minister for Aviation and Aerospace Development, my brother, and other ministers here present and represented, visiting heads of government, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, the Chair of the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, Secretary General of the African Continental Free Trade Area, members of the diplomatic community, investors and business leaders, captains of industry, representatives of development finance institutions, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct pleasure to join you today for the Governor's Investment Showcase at Invest Lagos 3.0. Let me begin by commending Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the government of Lagos State, and partners, especially the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council. Platforms like Invest Lagos are vital because they move us beyond high-level rhetorics to practical hard work of connecting capital with execution. We are particularly honored by the presence of His Excellency, Mr. Vice President. Your attendance underscores the premium the federal government places on private sector development and the critical role of subnational entities in driving national transformation. There's a shift to subnational growth, and that's why we're focusing on this. For decades, the conversation around investing in Nigeria focused almost exclusively on the federal government. But in the recent past, and particularly today, that narrative is fundamentally changing. The future of Nigeria's growth story is being written in Lagos, Kano, Enugu, Uyo, Abeokuta, Ilorin, Kaduna, Lafia, Owerri, and Umuahia. We are embracing a simple reality that while national reforms create the enabling environment, it is our subnational government that converts potential into projects, investments, jobs, and tangible economic outcomes. Lagos continues to set the pace. Just 3 weeks ago, like Mr. Governor said, I joined Governor Sanwo-Olu to commission the Kasi Hyperscale Data Center, an investment supported by the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority. That project is a testament to what happens when vision, policy consistency, and private capital converge. Africa is home to 9 tech unicorns, startups that are valued at $1 billion or more, 5 of which are from Nigeria, all headquartered in Lagos. So if you are in doubt whether Lagos is the most consequential city in Africa, like Mojibade said, you got the answer right there. But this is not just a Lagos story. Across our federation, governors are actively competing for investments, harmonizing tax laws, digitizing public services, and building robust public-private partnership frameworks. Investors do not invest in abstract countries. They invest in specific projects, cities, industrial clusters, and logistics corridors. Incidentally, all those are in states. But let me tell you about the macroeconomic stability that is enabling the reform progress. We meet at a time when global capital is highly selective. Investors are searching for 3 core pillars They want predictability. They want competitiveness. And of course, profitability. Nigeria has made a deliberate choice to build all three. Over the past 3 years, the federal government, under the bold leadership of our President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has undertaken some of the most significant, difficult but necessary economic reforms in our modern history to dismantle structural distortions. On the monetary side, we unified the exchange rate, transitioned to a transparent, market-determined foreign exchange market, and diligently rebuilt our external reserve, moving from a net of under $4 billion just 2-3 years ago in 2023 to over $30 billion net and nearly $50 billion US gross today. Yes, we should clap for that. The structural resilience of our economy is manifesting. Despite global economic and geopolitical headwinds, Nigeria recorded a GDP growth rate of 3.89% in the first quarter of 2026. In 2025, in US dollar terms, our economy grew by 11.2% and is on track for another double-digit growth in USD terms this year, ranking Nigeria in the top 10 contributors to global GDP growth rate for 2026. I have just returned from Invest Africa Summit in London. The global capital markets are taking notice. Just last month, S&P Global Ratings upgraded Nigeria's sovereign credit rating to B with a stable outlook, the first upgrade in over a decade, following positive outlook adjustment by Fitch and Moody's. This independent validation signals to global markets that Nigeria is steadily regaining macroeconomic stability. And we have the fiscal revolution, smarter tax, stronger states. At the core of our strategy is a comprehensive fiscal reform. For decades, a fragmented tax framework imposed heavy compliance burdens on businesses. Today, we are building a simpler, fairer, and highly competitive system. We have consolidated dozens of overlapping taxes and levies into a streamlined framework. We have enhanced our VAT administration to grant, wait for it, full input credit for investment. We have introduced incentive for priority sectors and established taxpayers' protection through the Office of the Tax Ombudsman. Let me emphasize that our goal is not to tax more. It is to tax smarter, raising our tax to GDP ratio from just about 10% a couple of years ago to at least 18% over the next 3 years by stimulating economic activities and expanding the informal sector to formalize rather than suppressing economic activities. Crucially, our new tax reform laws are specifically designed to empower subnational acceleration. The new framework assigns a greater share of VAT revenue directly to states, exclusively allocates stamp duties, including electronic money transfer levy, to state governments, and provides full tax exemption for state government bonds to drive local infrastructure development. We highly commend the states that have already enacted the state tax harmonization law to eliminate multiple taxation and protect vulnerable taxpayers. Moving forward, massive opportunities remain in land reform, simplifying titling, and unlocking the deep capital trapped in real estate and property taxation. But we need to move beyond conversation to real deals and transactions. Reforms, however, only clear the paths It is investment, enterprise, and jobs that create true prosperity. Too often, brilliant opportunities are known but insufficiently prepared. Investors are highly interested but cannot navigate the entry points. Projects exist, but they are not bankable or investment ready. To bridge this gap, the Federal Ministry of Finance is establishing a Nigeria deal room to transition from conversation to actual transaction, and we'll be learning from what Lagos State is doing. The platform will serve as a coordinated pipeline to identify strategic projects, eliminate regulatory bottlenecks, reduce the investment risk premium, and directly connect credible capital with investment-ready opportunities. Let me make a direct call to investors. To the sovereign wealth funds, development finance institutions, private equity firms, pension funds, and corporate leaders in this room today, Nigeria remains one of the most compelling long-term investment destinations globally. We possess a young, hyper-digital, and deeply enterprising population. We represent a dominant anchor market for continents integrating under the African Continental Free Trade Area. When you invest in the Nigerian states, you are investing in the future of African commerce. The federal government is fundamentally committed to crowding in private capital, not crowding it out. We're here to ensure that your long-term capital is protected, your enterprise is rewarded, and your growth is sustainable. In conclusion, the future of Nigeria will be built by states, project by project, and partnership by partnership. As we begin this session, we will hear from the governors, not merely a presentation of aspirations, but investment propositions. We will hear opportunities in infrastructure, manufacturing, agriculture, logistics, energy, technology, tourism, housing, mining, and industrial development. We will hear from leaders who understand that attracting capital requires more than ambition. It requires preparation. I encourage you to view today's presentation not merely as speeches, but as invitations. Invitations to engage, invitations to explore, invitations to partner, and most importantly, invitations to invest. At the center, we will showcase and amplify best practice standards across subnational government, from measures designed to promote ease of doing business, regulatory reforms, human development, infrastructural investments, and to sound public financial management, including innovation and technological development. The federal government stands fully ready to act as your partner in unlocking this next economic frontier, as we remain committed to providing the macroeconomic stability, regulatory certainty, and policy consistency necessary to support long-term investment. Thank you, and I wish you all a highly productive, successful, and profitable summit. God bless you all so you can invest. God bless our states so they can be ready for investment. And may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria so we may continue to provide the enabling condition for investment to thrive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and God bless you, our Honourable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, for those very, very strong words.